Irony is dead tonight. Donald Trump Jr. killed it. Reacting to the tax-related criminal charges against the family company and the chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, young Master Trump told Fox News, quote, "This is what Vladimir Putin does." As for how his father has been taking the news, CNN political analyst and New York Times Washington correspondent Maggie Haberman joins us now with her new reporting. Also, CNN senior legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Ellie Honig. Maggie, first to you. Look, Trump world trying to send off signals. Oh, this is no big deal, the indictments. Oh, it's just a partisan witch hunt. Oh, nothing to see here. What's really going on behind the scenes? What is the real feeling among the president and his close advisors?
Look, John, you're going to continue to see the former president describe this as a witch hunt and describe this as a partisan investigation. Part of that is going to be because of Cy Vance. Part of that is going to be because of the Attorney General, Letitia James in New York, who is also working on this case with Vance. But in reality, Donald Trump is not somebody who has sought to be indicted. He is not somebody who thought this was a good thing. There was some spin from one of his advisors earlier this week about how, or right before the indictment, about how he was, quote unquote, thrilled. He's not thrilled. I don't think he's throwing staplers, but he's not happy. It's not something that he's talking about constantly as fury. But this is not where they want to be. This is a totally new world for him, John. And I think that what you've seen with the former president and his advisors and members of his family and his allies is they have conflated legal problems with public relations problems for so long that I think some of them are losing sight of the fact this is actually an indictment. Now, it's not an indictment of Donald Trump personally, but it is an indictment of his CFO and of his company. And these are, even if they want to dispute the case and whether it's fair and whether it would be brought against somebody else, the reality is that Alan Weisselberg, the CFO, is facing potential jail time, and that can change things. It may not. He has indicated he's not going to cooperate with prosecutors, but we'll see where this goes.
Was the indictment, Maggie, part of the former president's regular TV viewing yesterday?
The former president was definitely watching the news coverage, and one of the things that I think people don't understand about how he watches television is it isn't just glued to the box. He often has it on in the background and then looks up and looks at things, but the TV is off and on, and he was well aware of the coverage yesterday.